the grasses up close and personal. So we'll just go in order. So this is Kelmagrastus. Now Kelmagrastus is easy because it's got, it's just a one floreted spikelet. So what you're actually seeing here are the two glooms that are left. And then this is the flower, the floret. And the floret is subtended by these little poofs of hairs. Okay, so that that makes it easier because of that. So the two glooms, and then this poofs of hairs. You can kind of see the lemma and pala, but I'm just more interested that you see the poofs of hairs. Okay, so that's Kelmagrastus. Pretty easy because of that. The next one, you know, I expected as you go through these, you'd look at the sheets that label everything. This is Ikanukloa. Now, unfortunately, it's hard for me to zoom out. So let me just pick one here. And you can see the black is actually the lemma. Oh, it keeps unfocusing on us. And it's got all these little barbs on it. And then on the other side, it looks like there's two glooms and one kind of white floret on the inside. And that's pretty much what it looks like. In reality, it's actually a multi-floreted spikelet. And I'm not going to be able to show that very well here. Oh, okay, here's one. That's good. You can actually see at the base of this, see how that's a different texture? That's actually the other gloom. So on the other side of this would be a gloom, and then that's the gloom. The same thing that's happening there, gloom. And so if I just zoom in a little bit, see what I'm saying there? There's the gloom. That little triangle here is the gloom. That little triangle here is the other gloom. Here's the other side has got the gloom. That's the full thing. And then above it is actually, this whole thing is a sterile spikelet. Or sorry, a sterile floret. Or so there's a sterile floret, and then here's the fertile floret. And then again, all your grasses should have two glooms with just one exception. Okay, we'll zoom back out. Next is Alms. So Alms is easy because remember the paired spikelets. So here are two spikelets still kind of stuck together. So here's one spikelet. This is the gloom, the other gloom. There's florets on the inside there. It looks kind of like a, I don't know, U with stuff in the middle. Well, they're stuck together here, paired spikelets. You can see there was a gloom or another floret there. So this is the pala. On the outside of that's the lemma, two glooms. And so there's two spikelets here and they're paired. If we go to the stalk of this, there would have been spikelet, spikelet, or paired spikelet, paired spikelet. If we kind of go up to the top, you can kind of see that. They zigzag back and forth. Makes them pretty easy, pretty distinctive because of that. When you're keying out plants, what I fully expect you to do is pick ones that you already know the genus. You're just going to take it to species. The next is Lyrizia. Lyrizia is really unique. They don't have any, so it's just a floret. It's a single floreted spikelet. There are no glooms, and they kind of lay on each other. They've got these little teeth. Those will stick to you, stick to your socks, and they kind of lay like pancakes. Most of these have fallen off, but you can see these two. They look like maybe, a roll of pennies or a roll of pancakes. kind of stacked on top of each other. So that's Lyrizia. Really unique, no glooms. It's just a floret, a single floreted spikelet with no glooms. Okay. The next one is Flareus. Now, Flareus is actually kind of weird in that it's actually, so this is the two glooms, two big glooms, and then we've got two of them here. So let me just get rid of that one just so we're not as confused. And right here, we've got the floret, and it looks like two tufts of hairs kind of at the base of it. Those are actually former florets. So it's actually a 3-floreted spikelet, but that's really hard to tell without me telling you. So again, that's why I would do these while looking at your sheets. So here's just a bunch of them. Well, it's just a mess on top of each other. So looking at the spikelet's the better way to do it. Okay. The next one, Phragmites. Now these are just, there's so much here that it's hard to see anything. Again, I wish I could zoom out with the scope, but I just can't. It's actually too good a scope. It's letting me zoom in too much. Oops, sorry. I've got both the phone wanting to focus itself and then me trying to focus. All right, so this is, they've got these huge hairs, not as big as, cotton grass, but pretty big. And so they're at the base of the florets, and there would be multiple of these within the spikelet. So they've all fallen out, but so this would be like a gloom. There's actually some sterile florets there, and then there'd be a ton of these florets in here with all the poof. And so the whole thing looks like one big poof, and that's your big Phragmites. Okay. And then Poa. Poa is just your typical grass in your yard. And of course, this is the one that the family is named after. Poa's simple in one sense that it's, here's one floret here, or sorry, one spikelet here, and it's got bright green glooms. So I like Poa because it shows really nicely the bright green glooms, and the glooms always subtend the spikelet. Okay, so you can tell real clear what a spikelet is because of that. And then it's harder to see the florets, because they're all on top of each other. But you can really nicely see good glooms. If you tear one of these apart, which I should have already done but didn't, there's a little tuft of hairs at the base of this, but nothing like any of the ones we've seen before. They've also kind of got translucent ends. But for us, those bright green glooms, just a single or a simple spikelets, usually 5 to 9 florets per spikelet. And then our last one, Spartinum. Spartinum was really easy. I mean, you can't miss it because this was the one that was the accordion, and you can see really clearly that all the spikelets are coming off of one side. If we look at an individual spikelet here, this is one spikelet with, the big glooms, and then the floret on the inside. But it's more the arrangement of them that makes it distinctive. All right, those are your wetland grasses, at least the ones you're responsible for. Again, you're going to have to key out some of these. So what I would fully expect, because grasses are super difficult to key out just on their own, is that you that you just pick one of the genera that I already gave you and just take it to species.